What's up, and welcome back to Rumor Has It Official. Let's get straight into talking all about 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. This is season 6, episode 10, and the title of this episode is Shadows of Doubt. We'll be talking all about Elizabeth and Andrei in this video. But before we get started, do me a big favor, my besties, and give this video a big thumbs up. Share, subscribe, plus hit that bell so you will be notified on future uploads coming out this week. I want to give a quick disclaimer and say my apologies to you all for last week. Normally, I try to get videos up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And this past week, I was behind. I got 2 videos up on, was it Saturday? Yes, Saturday. And that was because my sinuses, allergies, whatever you want to call it, going on all up in here was kicking my behind. So I'm just now kind of getting back to where I'm feeling a little bit better. I still have a little bit of congestion a little bit. I don't know if you all can tell. If not, great. But that is what I was dealing with. And so I was like, I cannot let my besties down. So once I felt a little bit better, I got up and I said, let me push and get these videos up to my besties. So I hope that you are enjoying the content. I hope that you are enjoying when I break up the couples, because I kind of like it like that as well, versus just doing one video on everybody and, you know, all in one episode. So like I said, I hope that you guys like this new way how I'm doing things. I just really appreciate all of your support, your understanding. It doesn't matter when I post, you guys are always very supportive. You still leave comments down in that comment section. I always enjoyed reading your thoughts in regards to these crazy folks. So again, if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, share, subscribe, plus hit that bell so you will be notified on future uploads. If you hit that bell and you're still not receiving your post notifications, that is a YouTube problem. I'm not sure what they got going on, but always check in with me every week and I will make sure to have a recap. A video will be up weekly. Videos will be up weekly. So just check back in with me. And let's go ahead and get straight into talking about Elizabeth and Andrei in this episode. So Andrei, when we pick back up, Andrei is yelling. And also let me state that if you're new here, I do read from my notes on my phone. So it helps me stay on topic so I can kind of get everything out I want to discuss. Back to this. Now, Andrei is yelling and demanding Rebecca come out of the RV to talk to him. Demanding that Rebecca come out of this RV to talk to him. Elizabeth is yelling, telling her sister to just go talk to him. Just go talk to him. Rebecca tells Andrei that she's done with him milking her dad. She feels her father is being manipulated by Andrei. Now, the whole time, Chuck is sitting in the RV, rolling his eyes, while these two go back at it, back and forth. They're arguing and yelling and having a screaming match. And he's just sitting there rolling his eyes instead of trying to get control of this situation so that they can get back on the road. Because if you all didn't catch in the last episode, because he is so busy trying to get in and talk business and real estate and see what he can get out of Chuck during this ride, he's not paying attention to the road and he misses their exit or wherever they were supposed to turn off to, and they're basically going the wrong direction. Because of that, then he decides, because he's embarrassed, to deflect and turn it back on Rebecca. Why are you doing this? And he decides to stop somewhere in a woodsy area to have this conversation. You want to stop the whole RV with the family up there, or these kids up here, they're screaming and crying. It was just a lot. The kids are screaming. When I say screaming and crying, this was really not a good idea. I get Chuck wanting to bring his family together and have this little RV road trip, but because there's so much tension between this family and Andrei, I don't believe that they should have. This was like setting themselves up, basically. This was a recipe for disaster. So again, Andrei, embarrassed that he took the wrong exit, he's deflecting. He decides he wants to pin that on Rebecca. It's your fault. How you made me turn the wrong way. Come out here and talk to me. So then Chuck decides to finally step out of the RV after Jen and both Elizabeth say, it's your fault. You're the reason why these two are going back and forth, because you're talking about business and being sneaky. You need to go out there and fix it. So Chuck gets up, goes out there, telling them that this is not what he wanted. And at this point, nobody really cares what he wants, okay? His kids feel as though he's being sneaky and doing business with Andrei behind their backs. Now, let me tell you how sneaky Andrei is. He's arguing back and forth with Rebecca and keeps saying things like, "Why do you keep acting like this?" He's trying to make himself look innocent, all while making Rebecca seem like she's crazy and starting the drama. Andrei knows exactly what he's doing. He says that he can't wrap his mind around the fact that he has to sit there and control his conversations just so that the other siblings don't get jealous. Andrei and Libby are so convinced that it's jealousy. And I think they're completely full of themselves. So Andrei is hoping that Chuck will start to see it as it's his kids who are starting all the problems. So they decide to stop in, I believe they either said North Carolina or South Carolina. And by morning, all you can hear are Libby and Andrei having a screaming match. Now, when they showed them by morning, and they just showed the house and you can hear all the commotion going on inside the house, but they weren't showing us what was going on inside the house as of yet. I thought I was watching Home Alone because, they show the house and then you can hear just all the commotion, everybody running around. It's just a house full of people. This was one of those situations, but a lot more dysfunctional. There's a lot of cursing going on. And I mean, it's just entirely too much. Andrei left their daughter unattended while Elizabeth was cleaning the Airbnb, and he was supposed to be watching her. He says that he needed to use the restroom, and there's so many other people in the house that could have been watching her or should have been looking after her. And it's really nobody else's responsibility to be looking after your child but yourself. Unless you say to someone, I gotta go to the restroom. Can you look after Ellie? If you haven't designated anyone or assigned anyone, I should say, to look after your daughter while you use the restroom, it isn't anyone else's responsibility. It's not the aunts and uncles' responsibility. It's not them little kids' responsibility looking over their youngest little cousin because they're probably running around doing crazy stuff and doing whatever they want to do too. Nobody's responsibility but Elizabeth and Andrei. Now, Ellie crawled halfway up the stairs and tripped and fell. This was what Elizabeth said, which I don't know if Libby was over-exaggerating or not because she tends to do that a lot. Now, what was funny to me is Libby said it infuriates her that Andrei never admits when he's wrong, but it only infuriates her when it has to do with them getting into a disagreement, not when he's fighting with her family and calling her sisters out of their name. Only when it has to do with her, it infuriates him, and he has a hard head and he's stubborn when it comes to you and him arguing. But when he's getting into it with your sisters and calling them out of their names, it doesn't infuriate you. It doesn't make you upset that he's being very disrespectful towards your sisters. One of the other things that really bothers me a lot is when Andrei and whoever else, when they are cursing and swearing in front of the kids, the yelling and the arguing in front of the kids. And I just don't think that is good. I think it's a sad shame. It's something that I've wanted to mention in a lot of my other recaps, and I veered off of it because I know a lot of people do it and they don't see anything wrong with it. But I personally just don't think that it's good as a parent to have your children in that type of environment where there's a lot of cursing and swearing. Allow kids to be kids, allow them to keep their innocence. If that's something you choose to do because you're grown at the end of the day, make sure your children are not involved into that. You want to protect your children as much as possible. And I just feel like it's a lot. I mean, when I say it's a lot of cursing, a lot of swearing, and you're teaching those kids that is okay. To be around that or to receive that type of treatment is okay. Ellie's going to grow up to say, it's okay that my boyfriend cusses and swears at me because I used to see my daddy do it to my mom all the time. I mean, I even used to see my daddy calling my aunts out of their names. So it's okay that it's happening to me. You have to be very careful of the message that you send to your children. I just feel like nobody's perfect, but when you know better, you do better. When you want better for your children than what you had, you try to do better. And so that really was bothering me. It has bothered me for quite some time, but this was like on another level as well. It just keeps getting like, there's just no respect. Chuck sits back on the couch. He doesn't intervene and say, look, check this out, Andrei. You're going to have to calm down. He doesn't try to regulate anything. He just sits there like a couch potato, sitting on the couch, looking stupid. And I feel like as the foundation, he should stand up and get Andrei in check. And a great way to keep him in check is to say, look, if you're going to be doing all this and raising your voice and acting like this, I can't have you in the family business. I bet you Andrei would straighten up in a heartbeat. In 2.5 seconds, he would straighten that tail right on up. So I think a lot of times when people are doing certain things, we have to hold them accountable. And, you know, as a way to just kind of teach people like it's just not right. Because otherwise people are going to continue to keep doing the mess that they're always so used to doing. But it's just not good. I don't think it's good to be swearing and cussing in front of those kids like that. Yelling. I mean, it's too much. It is really too much. And we have to be very careful of the message that we send to our kids. Just because we do it doesn't mean we want our kids to grow up and put that out into the world. But I know everybody is not going to think like how I think. It's just my point of view. But I'm very curious to know, besties, what you thought all about 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. This is season 6, episode 10. And the title of this episode was, I believe, was it Shadows of Doubt? Yeah, Shadows of Doubt. So comment down below your thoughts. I always look forward to hearing from you in that comment section down below. Give this video a big thumbs up, share, subscribe, plus hit that bell so you will be notified on future uploads. I appreciate all of your support. I hope you all are having a wonderful week thus far. And of course, I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. Peace.